This video demonstration is on a free open source storytelling, nonlinear storytelling tool called Twine. Twine is really easy to use and it's based on HTML. And I'm going to walk you through the process on how to formulate the story. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can actually download Twine to your computer, or you can actually just build it right online. So we can just hit use it online, which is typically what I will do, is just use it online. It saves the stories inside of the browser. So when you come back to Twine, it will show you all the stories that you've created inside of your browser. So it does become pretty browser specific. So it's not like you can just save them and share them with others except through, and it is your own browser. So on this computer, I've built out my chemistry mystery story. You can import your stories from files, or you can just start with a new story. So if I click on a new story, it's going to ask me, what do I want to name this? So I'm going to hit story and hit add. It forms, and I've been working on my chemistry mystery, it forms a flowchart of some nature where you want to sort of send your student different directions. The best way to describe what this nonlinear story is a choose your own adventure novel. So you choose to go one direction or you choose to go another. There could be different outcomes. It could be the same outcome. So I always think about it as a choose your own adventure story. The course developer, when they're working on these things, need to develop out the story. What do we want the students to accomplish inside the story? Where do we want them to go? So it is very story driven. And it does look like a flowchart. So where do I want the student to progress? Do I want them to go back and forth? So when I hit play, this is what the story is going to look like. So I give them a basic overview of what's going to be happening, and then I tell them to go through the tasks. So this is a chemistry mystery that they're going to do several tasks. They get to the end, they get all the clues, put it all together. So it's not necessarily a murder mystery or anything, but it's just a series of mysteries that help them figure out various chemistry topics and walk through that. And that's how we built out the assignment for this particular chemistry course, was through a story. And using Twine to build it, this example is not fully built out, but using Twine to build the story, there was other options where we could have the student get some help with conversions, and then we send them back to the task. And then they complete the task and they go on. So it definitely is a story. It has a good story plot, storyline that the students can progress to. And then when they get to the end, they click on the end, get whatever they need, and then go back to the beginning if they want. So it really is interactive. They have to flow through it. And putting together the story inside of Twine is actually fairly easy. So here's my story. I'm going to just go ahead and double click on this passage, and I could give this something, say welcome. I'm going to put something in here so we know where we're at in the story. And then I want to give it somewhere else. So I could say go to, it doesn't even have to be that long. So I could just do task 1 and say go to. And this part right here is what is going to make that link or make that node. And if I hit close, notice how it's already created my task 1. And I can branch this out. So I can say task 1A, task 1B. If I exit out, and this is what makes those links. So if I was to play this, when I was putting it in between those brackets, that is what makes the task links. And you can see slightly that we can just use these to go back and forth. Or you could even put that link there. So you could say take me back to, and when you pop these in and then you start writing, it pops it up. So it will populate where maybe ever you want to send them. And then you'll see the double directional arrow. And that's literally how easy it is to get your story set up. Just knowing that in between the double brackets is the link that you want to make. It makes its own node, and then you can just send it back and forth, and you can just link them that way. So I could say finished this task, and then I can send it to task 2. And you can name these whatever you want. I was just on I'm working on my chemistry and they have multiple tasks. Well, maybe you want to direct them different ways into the story. And so that's just how you're going to create those links. And then when they got to the end, I just sent them back to the beginning. So then it would say, I could say back to beginning. And then there's my welcome, and it pops the link right in, and then it will send it right back to the back. So it's really easy to form these non-linear stories. To add the images, videos, audio, go to the frequently asked questions, and it will walk you through how to add images and videos inside of your story. So there's definitely more ways to make them interactive. In this chemistry example that I'm showing, we will probably want to add in some conversion videos from Khan Academy or other videos that we may find on YouTube. You can embed YouTube videos inside of your stories. So there's a lot of different interactive features that you can bring right into them, including the images, videos, and audio as well. And then the student progress through the story as it's intended. Now, the thing about using Twine is that there is really no embed feature. So when you're ready to publish your file, it actually saves it as a HTML, and you link the HTML page. So I just linked it inside of Canvas, and then Canvas loaded it inside of its user interface, but not inside of my page specifically because I didn't have an embed code. So the only way to share out these files is to publish it to a file. If you have knowledge of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, you can edit your own story, layout, colors, fonts, or you can just edit the style sheet. So, and you can write those yourself. So that's if you have that additional knowledge. If not, you can adjust the theme that they have, or just go with the default theme. And you can test it right here. So it's definitely more of a nonlinear story when you're building in Twine. So there's lots of good uses that you'll probably find in the classroom, online or traditional, that you could build that story in. Great interactive content authoring, but it's very highly based on that story. So working with the course developer to come up with a good story to share with your students is really important when using Twine.